What I wish I knew at 23. As I sit here today as a 47-year-old man, I want to share some advice with my younger self. At 23, many of you may be in your 20s right now. I feel that I bring a lot of value to you being so much further ahead now, being as happy as I am now, but at the same time, things could have been a bit different if I knew at 23 what I now know. So the first thing is people will come and go in your life. You've got to be okay with that. As I started to want more in my life, it started to feel a bit of a challenge on me that as I was growing, I was becoming less friendly and less connected with people around me. And I wish I'd been okay with that rather than, I think when I was at school, I was very worried what people thought of me. But it really is a sign to you. If people are coming and going around you, it's a sign very often that you're growing. And if you're growing, you must be okay with that. Point number 2 is you can design every bit of your life. It blows my mind at the age of 47 how intentional I've been at where I want to get to. I design my life, and it took me quite a while beyond 23 to actually know that the more detail I put to my life and the more I own where I want to be, the sooner I'm going to get there. And I spent a bit of my early days drifting a little bit. But this feedback to me at 23 was be more intentional about where you want to be. Start designing it like you would design a house with the foundations and the roof and the structure and the carpets and the curtains, everything that you've got going on. But the more detail, the more intentional you are, the more you design the life that you want today, you'll actually have something to go and work with. And it's almost like an architect. If people are going to go and build a house, like if there's no architectural drawing from them to go off, no structural plans, you're just going to guess your way through it. And with me, it took a little bit longer. You know, I've been in the fitness industry for 25 years now. And so things took a little bit longer because I was trying to figure out this path. But the more intentional I was, I know I would have got ahead quicker if I'd designed my life a lot sooner. Point number 3 is lower your expectations and don't expect other people to appreciate and understand your goals. I really crave for people to get me and appreciate me and understand me, especially my family. I had very different goals moving into the fitness industry with my bodybuilding and my physique and what I wanted to do with my body. But I always wanted everybody around me to get me and understand. But I need to lower my expectations. You see, when you have ideas of where you want to be, what you want to do, you can't expect people to get them, especially if they're very far away from what their own beliefs and values are. And I very, very quickly realized into my late 20s that if I lower my expectations and don't expect people to be a particular way, then when things happen, it doesn't negatively affect you or me. So as you're growing through your life, it's like, I wish my parents would understand me. I wish my friends would understand me. If they don't, just lower your expectations. Just live your life your way. And people will either, as I said on point number 1, they'll either come or they'll go, but just lower your expectations. Don't expect other people to understand your goals, your vision, and your mission. I'm going to stop the video just for 2 seconds because I've got a free gift for you. Now, I created a 5-part mini-series called the Online Coach Income Accelerator. And in this video series, I teach you the incredible opportunities that lie ahead for online fitness coaches today. I then talk to you about how to attract, engage, and market to your dream customers. Now, when you have these dream prospects in sight, I then teach you how to land the high-paying clients. Now, to download this, to get immediate access, all you need to do is to click the link in the bio and you'll receive immediate access as soon as you submit your details. I'll see you there. Point number 4 is ask more questions and be more intentional. When I came out of school, I was very nervous. 19 to 21 to 23, very nervous of asking questions because at school, it'd always been frowned upon to ask questions. Not that people didn't ask questions. When you ask questions and they were wrong, you're almost made to feel thick and stupid. I never wanted that. You know, in the fitness industry, there's one thing that I want is my DMs are open for questions anytime. If I go to events or I speak anywhere, I want people to ask me questions. If we're in our coaching program, I want people to ask me questions because I believe that the questions and intentional questions to people of authority or trust, one answer can completely change our lives. And so, you know, a note to myself would be to just be more intentional and ask more questions. It wasn't till I was a little bit later on into my education, I'd travel to courses and I'd sit there, I'd be quiet just for fear of somebody saying, I'm stupid, I don't know what I'm on about. But now I just ask questions and I'd be younger, younger version of me would be more intentional. Point number 5 was that your environment really, really does impact your outcome. It impacts where you end up. To my younger self, in the early days, whilst my environment served me, if you have big goals and big dreams, your environment can outgrow you, or you can outgrow your current environment. And I look back at my 23-year-old self, and I think that my environment was conducive to where I got to in the short term, but I wish I could have upgraded that environment at a sooner point in certain stages. I actually upgraded that environment by going to different courses, hiring different mentors, etc. But I truly do believe that your environment dictates the outcome that you're working towards. And if you're feeling stagnant in an environment, then it's time to move. Say no to more. I think in the early days for me, especially when I was doing my PT and coaching, I'd be saying yes to everything as opposed to saying no, because my reputation would have grown a lot quicker by actually limiting the wrong people and actually bringing in the right people into my world. I want to do things that inspire me. And when people are saying yes to please other people and it's not aligned with them being inspired, it lowers fulfillment and lowers motivation. And I look at a lot of coaches today, and they've got a lot of people that they're working with that they don't like working with. And that's actually challenging their growth and reputation, because a bigger percentage of your diary is just full of people that you don't want to be around or be with. So I would actually say no to more people as my reputation started to grow, because that would increase my reputation and earning potential as a professional coach. Point number 7 is, if you'd rather be somewhere, just go. I think there were many times that I wanted to be somewhere else but didn't. And I use this piece of advice to many, many of you out there. If you want to be somewhere else, just go. Even if you take 1 to 2 weeks off. Somebody in our company just now has gone, I wanted to go to this particular country, and we've just encouraged that and said, go and do 10 days, go and do 14 days, go and do 21 days. If you can do it, and especially with the remote world nowadays, if you want to be somewhere else, you're going to grow by doing it, or you're going to find out it's not where you need to be. But with the online space nowadays, you have no excuse to not be and do what you want to be, or you're going to be unfulfilled if you don't go and do it. Point number 8 is to not compare yourself to others and get clear what you want. Getting clear is a task in itself. Sitting down, getting clear, because comparison means that you lack clarity. And when you lack clarity, you subject, i.e. you watch what everybody else is doing in their own worlds. And the reality of your own life that you end up creating is a mixed match of everything that you see that everybody else is doing. This is a really unsettling place to be. For quite a while, I was influenced by what I was seeing, other trainers, when social media started, what was going on in social media. And I ended up guiding towards a path which wasn't really what I was fulfilled to do. So early on in my coaching career, I was leading myself down more of a therapy route, because the fitness industry said this is what you need. And then I was like, but it's not what I'm inspired to do. And it took me a little while, which is why talking to my 23-year-old younger self, I'd be like, no, if you're comparing yourself to other people and you're not certain about yourself, change and do what you're inspired to do. And that would be a piece of advice to me. Number 9, I'd get in shape a lot quicker. And I would say this to every fitness professional out there, is wherever you are right now in your career, your body is your vehicle to the rest of your life, and your reputation in the fitness industry, incredibly. I was at 23 as a personal trainer, started to get in shape, but only really kind of aggressively went 26, 27 to really start developing my physique properly. I was in great shape, but really start adding muscle. But in my honest opinion, at 23, I would have gone more intentional at doing it faster, because I wanted to do it, but I was just worried that the fitness industry thought we need to be doing something else. And I now know that by doing what I did at the intensity that I did, it got me to where I want to be, but could I have done it a lot sooner? Absolutely. And number 10, which is probably one of the most important things that at 47, I'd feed back to my 23-year-old self, would do what inspires you the most. My whole career has been a direct, intentional route towards doing what I'm most inspired to do. In the early days, it was to become a trainer, which I was most inspired to do, but I was very stuck with the direction that I wanted to go in. You will be so much more happier and fulfilled in your life by being deeply inspired. What you're deeply inspired by is what you think about the most, what you read about the most, what you want to talk to your friends about the most, what you attract the most, because you're putting all of this out and it's very, very clear in front of you what you love to do the most. And the further you get away from what you're deeply inspired to do, the more unfulfilled you're going to be. So you as an individual demonstrate what you love to do the most. And whatever you love to do the most, you can turn that into more knowledge, skill, money. But make sure that you're doing what you're deeply inspired to do, because the opportunity to monetize that is abundantly more than it is if you're doing something you're not fulfilled. And that took me a little while to understand. So there are 10 key areas here that I would share with from 47 to 23, in the hope that some of these have resonated with you right now and given you some value and help you to be able to live the life that you truly want to live on your own terms, within independence, with an abundance amount of money, and above all else, happy. For now, I hope you found this helpful, and click like, click subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.